Welcome to the Rookie Show. My name is Faheem.
And my name is Nelly J, y'all. And we are Good Rookies.
That's right.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Good Tuesday. And guess what? It's the Good Rookie Show. Yeah. What's going on, y'all? We're your hosts coming to you from Toronto, Canada, the 6th. And we're bringing you the hottest topic in sports and culture. You done know. So this week, guys, we're obviously very excited. I know most of you guys are. But Faheem, big news came out, and I had to do a trivia thing right now. Okay. Um,
Okay.
so there is a driver, okay. Well, as a driver, but there's someone who just signed Formula One driver, which we've kind of covered before, who signed with Ferrari. Do you know who this person
Mhm.
is?
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton. Yep, I heard. I heard.
Yes. Okay. So
Mhm.
it is crazy. What he's getting paid, which is 100 million per year for him. They
Huh?
said that
Wait,
is
hold. Wait, no, 100 million for how long?
a year.
What?
Yes. For those who don't
What?
know, Formula One driving pays you I 100. So we think about like contracts and agreements and like 1 year deals. We talk
Hmm.
about basketball, we talk about different
Hmm.
sports. He's getting 100 million for him in a year, which, as you know, um is pretty a big it's a big deal for him. It's a
Wow.
big deal. It's
Of course.
probably
To hear that
it's
he's getting
more
100.
than combined earnings of Steph Curry and LeBron James in 1 year
Hmm.
together. Any thoughts on
Hmm.
that before we get to the hot topic?
No, well, hearing 100 million is not really, I'll be honest, hearing 100 million is not really, we hear 100 million all the time, really. But per year? That's crazy.
Per
Per
year.
year?
Per year.
You hear 100 million over like, a few years. No big deal. A year?
A
How
year,
many
bruh.
years? How many years do they think this is gonna go? Is this like so 100 million per year? He's young and in his prime. Is it he's gonna make 100 million per year going forward, or is this for a time? There's got to be some kind of time period on this 100 million.
It'll probably go up, right? Um,
Oh, gosh. Wow.
it'll probably go up, but his
Wow.
current contract with Mercedes is expiring at the end of 2025. So for them to take
Mhm.
him from Mercedes, they had to pay some money. So remember for him, so this will be 2025 or 2026 season. So
Oh,
they
okay.
probably, knowing Lewis Hamilton, meaning that he's a big name. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats,
Wow.
Lewis Hamilton. That's
Yep.
huge.
Yep.
And also
So,
he's been very philanthropic. I got the word right this time. He's been
mhm,
very philanthropic with his money, you know. He's not
absolutely.
like he's always helping out the community and doing good things. So it's always great to see those type of people win in these situations. So shout out to Lewis Hamilton.
And just so you know, his Mercedes contract was 2 year, 100 million. So he was getting 50
Oh wow.
million that he signed that last August. So 50 million this
Okay.
year and next year. But after that, and this is like pounds. This ain't USD. So it's more money
Mm.
in USD or
I'm sorry,
Canadian.
Lewis Hamilton. I was not familiar with your game, Lewis Hamilton. I was not familiar with your game, man.
Now we know. Now we know. Shoot.
Now we know. All right. Well, Nelly J, All-Star Weekend just finished.
Ooh, ooh.
Woo!
We had the Friday night, the Saturday night, and the Sunday night. Real quick, any thoughts on the Friday night?
Ben Matherin. Ben Matherin.
Mm.
Ben
Hmm.
Matherin. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Fahim, I've been high on him. Actually, someone
Yep.
in my fantasy league dropped him, and I picked him up real quick. I know he was hurt before, but I'm like, I don't care. I believe in this kid. A lot of
Of
Raptor fans would love him on our team. He just has something
course.
special. He's something that you just can't buy, you can't develop. It's just either in you or it's not in you. He was talking trash to LeBron before he got drafted. Hello? Like, that is a
Hmm.
killer on the
Hmm.
court. That is someone, when you unleash him, Fahim, he can be dropping 30 a night. whenever they decide to unleash him in
Mhm.
Indy. I really think he can do that. So I'm a big believer in him. I thought he was a star. I'm happy people are like, yo, like he's Faheem. He stood up in front of a lot of people that in the Rising Stars game, and he won MVP. So Friday night is Ben Matherin night
Right,
for me. What about you?
right, and yeah, I agree. Mathurin definitely stepped up. I like that he brought that energy for the night. Him and Jason Ivey had a little exchange that I
Mm-hmm.
thought was pretty interesting in regards to that seems to be something that spilled over from the regular season when Detroit maybe played Indiana. And he told Ivy, we're in the Rising Stars game and you can't guard me. And usually, trash talking happens in these type of situations, celebrity or just all-star weekend, but this felt serious. So I
You
kind of
sensed it,
I
and it was
kind of like that he
trending.
brought
It was trending on
right,
social media too for him.
right. Real quick on the Friday night in regards to the format. What do you think of the format? I like the format where you had the four different, you had
Yeah, they did it
the
last year
first year
too.
picks. Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
I
liked
like
it.
the format. I like the team concept. Instead of them playing like just one full game, which we'll talk
Mhm.
about a full game later. I thought it was way better, more entertaining. And for these guys, it's like it gives you more of a smaller, like a better like focus on them. I think this forces you to go,
Yeah.
okay, here are these guys. Here's who's really good. No, I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot.
Mhm. True. All right. And on the Saturday night, we had a lot of things to cover real quick. Let's go over on the Saturday night. The main thing was let's go to 3-point competition. Thoughts?
Off the gate. I thought it was pretty good. Just kind of disappointing from some of the players, Donovan, Jalen Brunson's
Mm,
first year, maybe nerves kicked in. But I
yeah.
thought it was interesting. Honestly, when I saw the names for him, for some reason I was drawn to Damian Lillard. I just think he just has this like thing of shooting. Like I know Steph is one, but Dame could be literally like top five as well as a shooter. Like, um, people really don't really rate him as a shooter, but I do because like when you watch him play, the man can freaking shoot. Like he really is.
When you
And
say people
for
don't rate him, hold on. I got to
uh,
stop you there, Nelly.
yeah, some people
You
don't rate
say
him as a
people don't rate him.
shooter.
What do you mean?
No,
Why do you mean people
as
don't
a
rate him?
shooter, well, because he didn't make it to the finals before. Like he hasn't gone to a finals,
Mhm.
right? You always hear, oh, he didn't make it to the finals, and I'm like, yeah, but Portland never really built anything around him. He's someone I think that was at a smaller market, didn't win. He won the playoffs, but never went to the finals before. The people don't really rate him sometimes, and I've heard it before. I know we rate him, but some people don't
Yeah.
until he makes it to the finals. They're like, he's just. But I think in terms of a shooter. I think he's a really shoot. He could be top 10, top five. And I'm happy he's doing the 3-point contest and he won back to back. But Damian Lillard to me, like for him, when I saw everyone, I said they're all great, but they're not Damian Lillard. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I would have
Mhm.
done if Steph was there. They're not Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? And Dame's not Steph Curry either. So I just think that there's levels to shooters, and I just thought Damian Lillard was always going to be. Well, I felt like he's just the best shooter in that group. But very impressive with everyone else
Mhm.
though. Like seeing Cat.
Mhm.
Um, I thought he did a really good job. Ice Trey, love that he was able to make it that far. Yeah, it was a fun contest. How about you?
Mhm. No, I agree. Dame, uh, yeah, Dame did what Dame does. Dame time, it was real. I like that it came out to the final ball and he closed it out. I do like, and they've been doing this for a few years now, but I really liked the the 4-point shot and just the format of how they go around. I think it was great. Cat, you mentioned Cat it being a big man shooting. It's funny. Like he's won before, so there shouldn't be a surprise. But it seemed like I guess his he doesn't put a lot of elevation in his shot. It's kind of like more of a set shot, an old school guy like Sam Perkins. Um, yeah, but I was gonna wait for this till after. Maybe I'll wait till this will be my last question for you. All right, so we're off a 3-point shout out to Dame. Next on the Saturday night was we'll go to the uh 3-point competition
The still
between
skills
Steph
contest
and Sabrina
or
and Nephew.
which one? The skill? Because remember before
Uh,
the 3-point, there was the skills
oh
contest.
yes, my bad. Skills. Real quick on the skills. Go ahead.
I thought team number one pick was so floppy for me. They flopped. They couldn't win
Mm,
anything.
mm,
Ant-Man, Victor, Paulo, I was very disappointed. I thought they would have had way more skill. They just couldn't get it together.
mm,
I guess number one picks aren't can't play with people. I don't know what that was, but it was just like the passing one, the shooting one. It was just like, man, these guys are just
mm,
like it just seems like team synergy worked out and also having experience worked out. But I feel like Paulo and Victor were the last what? They're the last three first round picks or last four because Kid couldn't do it. So, it was Ant-Man. Kid couldn't make it last, for the year of Scotty year. So I don't know. I thought that team could have done a bit better, but no, I was very impressed with Scotty. Like his one hand passing. They're like, "Yo, Scotty can pass the ball," and I'm like, "You." He did really well with Maxi
mhm,
and Trey. And I think that was tied up. The half court shot. That's a terrible way to end a skills challenge. I was like, making a half court shot is not a skill. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So I thought they did it. The NBA was not prepared. You can tell they didn't think a team was going to tie. So I felt like the NBA just kind of was lazy with that tiebreaker. They could have had Faheem. They could have done anything else better than a freaking half court shot. Sorry, NBA, that was a fail. How
Mm,
about you?
mm. Um, so I agree with everything you mentioned. I'm not mad at the 3-point shot, really,
No, no,
because
no, no, the
I
half court shot, not three
I was
point.
my bad. I wasn't mad at the half court
Okay.
shot to win. Um, I did think though after it got team Scotty, Maxi, and who was the third one? Whoever
Trey,
was on his team,
Trey,
Trey,
Trey
right?
Young
They kind of got frustrated. Is that that's the one where Scotty threw the ball over
behind his
his
back.
shoulder? Is that the one?
He's so
Threw
Scott is a
he
joker.
turned his
He's
back to
like,
the basket and
whatever,
just threw it up.
because it's a
Yeah,
joke. It's
literally,
not
that
really a
was
skill.
that
Make
was
Fahim
literally
making a half court.
whatever. Mm.
Fahim, people make half court shots to win money at NBA games. How's that a skill? I'm sorry. They could have done
Yeah.
it easy,
Well,
like
no, wait a second. Dame did it in
no,
the
I know
All-Star
that,
game
but Fahim,
too. Yeah. Mhm.
it's not a skill. Making that Fahim, I don't care. Fahim, you can't make an NBA team because you make a half court shot. Okay, that's a
Mhm.
requirement. I'm saying these are professional players. I'm sure they could make that. I'm thinking about maybe something like maybe have to repeat the first round. Do something for him. Do
Yeah, yeah.
something. All
No,
I'm
I
saying
agree.
is that
I
that
agree.
is a lazy tiebreaker. I'm sorry. Do something. It's 200,
Yeah.
200. Okay, how about we
Mhm.
do have a passing, shooting combo type like game? I'm not saying that they
No, I
could
agree.
like
Yeah.
it was lazy. To me, it's a lazy attempt. Oh, we were prepared to do half court. You can tell they had nothing planned for this. Okay, let's do a half court shot, y'all, because we ain't got nothing planned. And I get that.
Right.
I'm saying, but the NBA do better. That's they are
All right.
a hundred, a billion dollar companies all over the place. They could afford to have one more idea for a tiebreaker. That was a half court shot.
I agree. Let's go to the next one, which is the GOAT 3-point shooting competition between Steph and Sabrina Ionescu. Um, Thoughts?
Oh, I honestly, my thoughts was I knew Steph was gonna win. I just wanted Sabrina to go out there and do a really good job and have a really good number, and I felt she did that. Her number tied the winning number for the 3-point contest, so I think she went out there, did her thing. I think Steph Curry is the goat of shooting of all time, right?
Mm.
Sabrina, she did a really good job last year, but she isn't a goat of shooting in the WNBA. But she had a near perfect score in the shooting contest last year. So I just thought it was really great that they came together. It showed like, hey, this isn't a gender thing. This is a let's shoot, shoot or shoot. And I loved her message in that. And I thought I actually really enjoyed it. And I like how they're both cheering each other
Mm.
on. They were both doing it for their charities. NBA charity got something. I thought it was a great, and everyone watched it. You could tell a lot of people wanted to see this contest. So I had enough respect for both. For both. Sorry, Sabrina and Steph. How about you?
Yes. Yeah, everything you said, I agree. The respect for both of them is there. I like the fact, like you said, cheering each other on. Um, I think the whole you used the word before, but I will take what you say, poppycock.
Oh, the
Poppycock, is that
poppycock.
the word you use?
Yep.
Yes, this is that to me, that whole competition is a bunch of poppycock. Oh, you mentioned about the tying the same scores a 3-point competition at 26,
Mm-hmm.
which is true, but it comes down to a fundamental problem. The fact that uh, the ball size, I just, to me, the whole competition, the whole 3-point thing, to me, it's just a joke. I
Really?
think it
You
would have
see, I
been more,
disagree because I think like
I
the
know you
whole ball
disagree, but
size
I,
thing for him, I think like her
mhm,
hands are like women's hands are smaller and women have less
mhm.
muscle mass than men, period.
That's
So
fine. That's
so
fine.
so to the end of the day, like she shot from the NBA 3-point line. I think and that was her
Mhm.
choice. So she shot from the same
Yeah. So
distance
they,
from them. And the ball size is relative because women aren't as strong as men. I mean, we can't deny that. So so the ball being the same won't really change anything, in
yeah,
my opinion.
Yeah, Muggsy Bogues was 5'3" and apparently
Yeah,
had
but
small
he
hands
still has
and
more
couldn't
muscle
handle the
mass.
ball.
But again, it's science, right? Testosterone.
So here's
There's
what
more testosterone in men than women.
give.
And Fahim, I know guys who are shorter than me that have bigger hands than me. You know what I'm saying my hands are
Mhm,
so the
mhm.
hand size, the average hand size of woman and men are different things. So does it? And remember,
Okay.
this is a women's league, so the average height for men and for women are like 4 inches difference in terms of size and muscle mass. So like uh, I
Yeah.
think her going
And
to the
I
3-point
agree.
line of the NBA, I think that says, you know what, I don't shoot from this line. I want to shoot further
Right.
back to compete with Steph. I
Right.
gotta respect that. I
You,
now if
use
she
a
shot from,
you
you know what I'm saying. So to the
use
whole
a small
ball size
rim.
thing, I think
Use
that's like
No, no, no. Watch this. What? No. Here's the ball size thing. That small ball. Use a small rim for your little small ball. How about that? They should have actually put
yeah,
a small rim for her small ball and let her shoot on that. Then I think
but
it's fair. But
but
I
we all
don't.
know,
Go
Fahim,
ahead.
that these facilities they don't change, they can't change the rim size. It just doesn't make
I know.
sense in terms of like
I know.
cost.
I
You
know.
know what I'm saying? Like
That's
so
why.
so to me that's just like that's a very like I don't know, it's kind of ignorant to say that to be honest, because at the end of the
Is it
day,
ignorant?
like their
I think it's
standard
ignorant to I think it's ignorant to think that you get to use a small ball on a bigger rim
but it's
and
not
then call it
small though,
equal and
Fahim.
call it equality. It
The
is a
ball's
small
not
ball.
small.
That
That's
size
you're not
that
gonna shoot
it, the,
in a badminton ball. Is that
no, no, no.
small?
It's a size six. It is a small ball. It's a size six ball. That size six ball is, I think, a quarter of an inch, but it's a smaller ball than a size seven ball that's used on the rim.
It's 1 inch.
So
Okay. I guess we're gonna
it is
disagree.
that's fine, but she could use a smaller rim for her smaller ball.
But Fahim, they're not gonna do that. I'm saying every basketball has an actual like committee behind this. Is that her
Okay,
fault?
right.
Is that her fault that the basketball committee of America actually has these rules set out for
Mhm.
women and men from high school, from college to whatever? So she cannot change these rules. I think all she could have done is say, you know what, Steph, I want to shoot from the same line as you because I respect you as a shooter and I want the same distance, right?
Okay.
And for people who shoot, you know that the distance to me matters more than the ball size because for him, I've seen guys that shoot with women's balls that can't make a bucket. And so vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So it's because the ball's lighter, so they're gonna adjust your strength to shoot the ball, and they shoot like shit, like crap, right? So at the end of the day,
Well, I know it would
the
have been.
ball shooters know how to. To me, shooting is an accuracy thing. It's a mechanics thing, and making whatever distance in, right? And so the way of the ball to me is a
Right.
very like minuscule comment. I think if we're from the same distance, right? Because I've seen guys, like if you ever go to like the I don't know, like those like carnivals, there's basketballs, right? It's the same basketball size, it's
Mhm.
carnivals, right? You see kids make shots. I see adults miss those shots. It's the
Right.
same size, but because it's accuracy, it's
Okay.
form, it's mechanics. So
No.
to me, I
So,
think to limit shooting based on ball size, to me, I think it's a small argument. I think accuracy,
okay.
mechanics, all that should matter, not just the ball size. And I think for her to see, you
So,
know what, I'll keep this equitable. Let's make it the same distance. I thought it was dope. So enough respect.
all
If
right.
ball size
Y-
matters to you, then
All
that's
right. So we'll
cool.
keep it moving.
Not to me.
And here's what would have been impressive to me the most if on she would have used the same ball and the same rim as Steph and shot those 3-point shots, and then see if she would have still tied the men at 26. I
I
don't think it would have happened.
I disagree. I think Serena was
You
very
think she would have done
impressive.
it? Okay.
I'm
Okay.
complete opposite.
Shut up.
I think she
Shut
could
up.
have done it if
Mhm.
she practiced that ball. I think she'd have done it. I think she's a shooter.
Okay.
She's a freaking shooter. Um,
Okay.
and
Well,
those 3-point contests are not easy. We saw guys who can shoot well from 40% plus in the field in a game
mhm.
and didn't shoot that great. So I gotta give her
Okay.
her props. I don't care about no size ball. That's to me is a weak argument. I'm sorry for hearing. I ain't going with that. I ain't going with
Okay.
that, bro.
No, that's cool.
I ain't going with that at
Small
all.
ball, bigger rim. Yeah. All right. Next was the slam dunk competition. Give me what you got on the small the competition.
It was okay. I think McClung was the best dunker out of all of them from the first round. That first round dunk should have been 50 all across the board. The judges didn't see that he actually threw the ball to himself and then dunked it. That was sick. But no, definitely I think he's the best dunker. Jaylen Brown tried a little bit, but no, I mean for those who know, I thought McClung was gonna win the entire thing. It was not really a contest to me. But overall, I thought it was kind of it was okay. It wasn't a great dunk contest, but I mean, I think since the Aaron Gordon contest with Zach Levine, I don't think it'll ever be that great. So until we get two other young stars come back up again. How about you?
Uh, yeah, I think I agree with the stars. We need the stars in it. Kind of disappointing. Even the judging, they had the judging off. Some of the better dunks got lower marks. It's just very inconsistency with it. I think the best dunk of the night was actually the only dunk of the night that I think I was really impressed with. There's one, the McClung, the very first one he did, where he jumped over somebody, he let go of the ball in midair, and then he reverse dunked it. I've never seen that before, and that didn't even get a 50. So I was really surprised with that. For the most part, they're just gonna have to keep this dunk competition. I did hear that John Morant tweeted saying he might be interested in going in. So I think the Stars are gonna come and save it next year. This year was just an off year. Not much to say on it. Not much to say. Just bring the Stars back out and make it great again because it disappointed this year for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, but looking at the lineup, I was like, okay, let's see if they can surprise me. But I mean, everyone, listen, going out there is tough to do it. I respect everyone who participated, and big up to Jaylen Brown for stepping up to have like an all-star in it. I think someone like Kat was doing really good dunks within the all-star game. So I'm like, oh, like there are things that like these guys, these stars, they don't care. They just don't care.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, not much to say with the slam dunk competition. What and let's go to Sunday. Sunday was the All Star game. Anything on the All Star game, Nelly J?
Oh my gosh. Boy, that yawn was just for that too. It was a yawn fest. You know what I'm saying? Before the game started, I
Mm,
knew the East was gonna win because the East had a younger squad and all those guys have things to prove. They actually would care more than the West. And I was like, if the East gets a substantial lead, that the game's done. Because like guys like Trey Young, Scotty Barnes, like these guys don't get these opportunities all the time. So if they're gonna be in this game, they're gonna make the most of it. We all know Giannis plays tough in every game he does. He don't stop playing. Um, Jaylen Brown and Tatum are like that too, right? They like to win. And I felt the West have guys that are kind of lazy and don't want to get injured, right? And we've seen Luka and Jokic. They were funny to me. Oh my God, that back and forth pass down the court like a weave, like there's back and forth, and then giving it to the SGA. Um, Cat 150 is such an empty calorie 50 point. Like I don't know. It was
mm.
Faheem. If any
I don't know,
basketball
man. I don't think it's
game empty calorie. I'm sorry because like no one was trying. It was just like he wasn't passing the ball to the other teams to get some points. Like at least in the
right.
East, everyone got at least over 10, except for like two or three, only because they didn't get any attempts. Cat was hogging the ball. You could have waited for other guys to come
I
down, get other
agree.
guys
I agree.
involved. Like to me, it's the All-Star game. This is not like, oh, I'm gonna
Mm,
drop 50 and look like, oh. And for him, I guess because my bias is because after hearing how Cat played against Detroit, wanted to beat Embiid based on points. Now I'm
right,
like,
right.
bro, this is what he does. So I felt that was kind
I
of
agree.
like, bro, pass the ball to other guys, like make it an all-star. You saw Luca like I saw Jokic. That man could drop 50 points yesterday. We kept
Yeah.
passing it out for three to other
Mhm.
players, right? Like, I think he had like 8 or 9 assists or something like that. Like, bro, like, come on. So I thought empty 50. I don't care. I watched the
Mhm.
entire game. Empty 50.
No,
I thought the 36,
from that
39
point, I
and
get it.
the 39 points, the 30s that Jaylen Brown, Dame, and Halliburton got, I thought that was like, you know what? second shot points, shots, whatever. But no, the East won, and rightfully so. I'm happy they won. A lot of people were freaking making fun of the Eastern team, like, oh, they don't have any Hall of Famers and all this weird energy and dumb stuff. I'm like,
Hmm.
someone said the West
Yeah.
had top 10 players, like 7 out of 10 top 10. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, I was happy the West, like the East smoked them. And yeah, the West was lazy and they lost. Good. How about
Hmm.
you?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm the same. You were saying with Cat and the empty calories from that standpoint, because I was saying to myself, he every time he got the ball, he was shooting or dunking. He wasn't passing the ball at all. So for that, I get it. That's true. Um, all I'm gonna say with the game, I think they got the MVP wrong. To tell you the truth, as the game was going on, like Dame hit the two halfway shots, Dame was hitting everything. That's fine. But Halliburton came out guns a blazing. I think he hit like was it three straight threes or four straight threes? Like he was. I, I happen to think that Dame and Halliburton, regarding the game, they were kind of close. And I think it being in Indiana, it's kind of like when they make selections, they kind of take the host city into account. I think they could have taken the host city into account. Halliburton, I think, played well enough that I think if he would have got the MVP, no one would have been upset. People would understand the politics behind it of it being in Indiana. I think giving the Indiana what they want. I mean, he played like he wanted the MVP, and I don't think anyone would have been mad at it. I think he could have been the MVP of the game, just being the home representative. That's just my thoughts. But I'm not mad at Dane getting it. But I just thought
Mm-hmm.
that you know Halliburton would have been, I think, a more politically better choice for me. That's
I
all in there.
mean, and that makes sense. Just that historically, the post person that has the most points win MVP. I've never seen someone not have the most points not win it.
Well,
So
actually, technically, but well,
I'm,
yeah,
I'm just
you're
saying,
right.
like the most points on the winning team. I'm trying to think back when had a
Yeah,
team when
but
someone won MVP that had like
yeah,
Jayson Tatum won, he had the most points. Like it's just always been that way.
yeah.
That's why for me, I didn't I knew it was Dame because he had the most points. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't.
Mhm.
But to your point, yeah, Halliburton
So
could have
maybe
won,
that's it.
but I think Dame has more
I think you got to take the
reputation.
home team.
He's
Uh,
been in the NBA for a lot longer. He's never started in the NBA All-Star game. It's his first start. I'm happy that Dame won because now you know what I'm saying because
mhm.
it's something he's never gotten before. He's never been able to, he's been in the West with other amazing guards. Never got to start. First time starting.
Right.
First time. I think it's great for Dame's story to be honest for him to win. But Halliburton
Yeah.
he'll get many opportunities to win again. Like he's so young. I think Dame
Mhm.
is now coming towards a time in his life where all these things matter. You know what I mean? I think Halliburton will win it, and I think he'll win an All Star for sure. But
Mhm.
I'm happy. I'm happy they won.
But,
I have no issues with that. Yeah,
but for the most part, yeah, the All Star Weekend, good job. I think they got it. They got it right. Um,
the All
Last
Star
year,
game
Sas was
though,
real quick.
ooh, that game was rough to watch. I ain't gonna lie for him. Another rough game.
It was.
But
It
I'm
was. It
happy with
was.
East versus West. But I thought it was just like, no defense. I would love to see more Dame, Paul George, stop more Paul George and Kawhi, but you could tell they don't want to get hurt. They're injury prone.
Yeah.
Just like
Mhm.
I feel like if they're not gonna play tough, I rather them bring in like 5 other guys in the West that actually care. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? That actually would play hard. Like maybe younger stars or something. I don't know how they're gonna do that, but these older guys, like Faheem, Team West was old. Okay, old man, them was on the West. Like they were all old
Mhm.
people. So you could tell that the West just was like, yeah, we're older. They've been here before many times. So the East, you can tell, had more like excitement. You know what I'm
Yeah, they're
saying?
younger.
But the
Yeah.
West
Mhm.
tried. I won't bash the West. I'm just saying the East, like Steph was really good on the West too. Like I thought he had energy and like pizzazz. LeBron always, but LeBron only played 13 minutes, 14 minutes. I think Quiet played nine
Mhm.
minutes.
Uh,
So
All right. Shout out to Indiana hosting. Uh, Overall, a decent All Star weekend. Nelly
mhm.
J. Let's go for the culture.
For the culture, we like to highlight individuals for the culture. And today we get to highlight an all star. He actually was the all star MVP last year, the Kobe Bryant Award. Jayson Tatum. So, y'all, Jayson Tatum, as everyone know, he's been a star. He's played in many Eastern Conference Finals, way more than Joel Embiid, but has not won an NBA MVP. But he's an MVP off the court, and he's for the culture because Tatum partnered with SoFi to commit over 1 million over multiple years to aid low income single parent families in building generational wealth. And so what I love about this is that Jayson Tatum, um, who's working with Sofi for this, is targeting and helping these families, be understand what wealth looks like, right? So the Jayson Tatum Foundation is something that him and his mom run together. And Jason commented saying that we didn't know about investments or savings accounts when we were growing up. But obviously, when I got to the NBA and started to make money, we had to ask questions and learn about things. And it was always important for me, even when I was younger. I just knew I wanted to give back and help people that looked like me and grew up like me. And that's something a lot of single parent families don't have the luxury, Faheem, to understand savings, investments, because you're kind of living from check to check and trying to make sure that everyone has what they need, right, in terms of your family and necessities. So I think this is great that they're going to allow to give these families another means of investing in savings so that they are in a better position, especially if their kids aren't going to be in the NBA and be a star like Jayson Tatum. So that's why Jayson Tatum is for the culture. Fahim,
Woo!
any thoughts on what he's doing with SoFi?
It's big, especially I know he's from St. Louis. Giving back. It's great. He's seen as one of those people who could be the face of the league once some of the older generation move on. So it's great that he's partnered with them. Him being in Boston, I find it interesting. I know SoFi, they're on the West Coast. I think it's Silicon Valley or somewhere around there. So it's going to be interesting to see how when he starts to go farther in his career, uh, how his portfolio is going to expand. SoFi is very big in the United States in regards to their app for financial literacy. So yeah, I think it's really good seeing someone it's a good partnership. I think someone who's looking to be the face of the league in some aspect, partnering with a very prominent financial literacy platform. Yeah, so shout out to like it's huge, and I think it's going to be pretty inspiring for other people from low income situations. So shout out to Jayson Tatum.
In school, we learn about trigonometry and all these things that, the Pythagorean theorem, all these things that a lot of people don't need to survive, right? I think financial literacy
Mhm,
is something needed. I know in
mhm,
Toronto and Canada and Ontario, we've actually added that to our curriculum where kids are learning about savings, investments, what these terms mean,
mhm,
and how to
mhm.
like credit score. How does that work?
Yeah.
Those things I didn't know about a credit score until I think my third year. I'm like, what? A credit score? What's that? Like, huh?
Mhm,
Right. So I just think it's great that these kids are like these kids and families can learn that and get money to invest, right? To be able to
mhm.
save. And I think, this is gonna be a great partnership over multiple years. That's awesome. Awesome.
Shout out to Jayson Tatum.
Big up.
All right, so let's close out this episode with our last episode or last segment. That's absurd.
That's absurd. Fahim, bro. What was absurd this week? What was absurd? Ah.
Spencer Dinwiddie of the newly acquired LA Laker, Spencer Dinwiddie, his contract, at the end of it, it includes he gets an extra dollar if the Lakers win the NBA Finals.
Why even
Absurd.
put that in there? Like, why even waste the lawyer? Absurd for sure. But why even waste the lawyer's times for him? Like, why waste your lawyer's
Mhm.
times by even doing that? I think it's so absurd to say, hey, by the way, if we win, you get a dollar. I mean, that's like what, $1.75 Canadian, but still, that's nothing.
Yeah, I guess it comes down to principle. I guess he's just like, I want what the dollar represents. It must represent something, but it just seems kind of, yeah, kind of ridiculous.
Why even put that? It's such an absurd thing to put in a contract. And why would he even agree to that? Is it because he'll get a ring? He doesn't really care
Mhm,
about getting more money or a bonus? I don't know about that, man.
mhm, mhm. Really would be interested to see what that dollar represents because it's got to be something. Absurd, absolutely absurd. Hmm.
Whew. Well,
Yeah,
Spencer signed it, and he's a Laker now. And look, and watching what they're doing, I'm
yeah,
not really too concerned. But again, they got LeBron, who has, of course,
yeah,
been in many playoffs, and that experience you can't beat. So we'll see.
yeah. Yeah. All right, I know AJ. Let's put this episode in the books.
Y'all, that was the Good Rookie Show. So, guys, as y'all know,
Hmm.
this is our time to do our shout outs. My shout out this week is to the infamous, and she's not hasn't even touched the professional stage yet, Caitlin Clark. Okay, she broke the scoring record that Kelsey Plum had, broke that, shattered that. This girl, she dropped what, I think 40 or something. The night that she broke it, I don't know. She dropped a lot of points. Okay, not only that, um, the Michigan game where she broke the record on her home court, the average ticket for that game was $521 US, which was the highest resale tickets going up to 10,406 apiece. So this was the most expensive ticket in women's basketball history.
Wow.
Okay. So I definitely they're calling it Clark economics. That's what ESPN college
Hmm.
analyst Debbie Antonelli said on USA Today Sports. She's literally driving lots of revenue in women's basketball. Heard, of course, an Angel Reese, her counterpart. Angel Reese even gave her a big shout out on Twitter saying, "Congrats, Caitlin." So they're really great competitors. Love seeing the women's game grow like that. But yeah, Caitlin Clark breaking the women's scoring title at her home court, man, that was historic. So big up to her. And the shot that she broke it on was a logo shot.
Hmm.
Wow, that's a flex. Back to
Nice.
you, Faheem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Caitlin Clark. On that note, I think we should put this episode in the books.
Okay, y'all, that was the Good Rookie Show. If you had a good time, enjoyed yourself, please like and subscribe. And tell my telephone friend, Faheem.
We're on all platforms. You know what it is.
It's the Good
That's the Good
Rookie
Rookie
Show.
Show.
And we out.
Hold on.
Peace.